thank you for joining us on Monday edition of Journalist Hangout, reaching you from our studio here in Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Today on the program, NNPCL says Nigeria's crude oil production is nearing 1.7 million barrels per day. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, urges APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje to reconcile agreed party members. And later on the show, Organized Labour says it may not accept 100,000 naira as minimum wage. Tells the government to get serious. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, and we're also expecting Ima Shehu. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. Nigeria's crude oil production is rapidly witnessing an upswing, with production nearing 1.7 million barrels per day. Beg your pardon. This marks a significant increase from 1.2 million barrels per day recorded in April. The Group Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Company Limited, that NNPCL, Military, who gave the information at an engagement in Lagos, emphasized the need to tackle insecurity in the oil and gas sector for maximum production. As Military succinctly put it, solving the problem of oil theft in Nigeria is key to the needed reform in the sector. 1.7 million barrels per day. Why are we celebrating this? I thought the normal maximum that projection is 2 million barrel, an estimation of 2 million barrel per day.
No, it's just providing information to show that there is an improvement. As you read, in the month of April, our maximum oil output, because they do the average based on what you are able to produce every blessed day in the course of 1 month, it came to 1.28 million. So there's a big difference between 1.28 million and something in the region of 1.7 million. So it shows improvement. It shows that we are getting there gradually. And it is significant for us to produce a lot more. I know that Nigeria can do even 2.5 million barrels a day if we are serious. And when I talk about seriousness, I'm talking about the need to deal with the insecurity, the need to deal with the oil theft that is so rampant in Nigeria. There's no serious international oil company that will want to come and do business in Nigeria when the major onshore facilities and infrastructure are being breached regularly by chiefs. How can we have a situation in which the NNPC was able to identify and destroy 5,800 connection points to our oil pipelines?
5,800
points.
Point connection.
Yes, the thieves found a way to drill holes into our pipelines from where they would now put their giant fuel hoses and then siphon fuel.
We don't love this country.
Siphon crude oil.
Not petroleum.
5,800 is a lot. Is a lot. And then more than 600 illegal refineries have been destroyed in just 2 years.
Sabotaging our economy.
More than 600 illegal refineries. You know, you connect to the major pipelines and then siphon. So we've got to do much better. We've got to do much better. We can't have a situation in which people will be stealing this much from our crude. And when the GMD talked about the need to protect the infrastructure, it's because crude oil is passed through those pipelines. But because they continually steal through pipelines, oil majors, oil producers in our country, the OICs, the IOCs, international oil companies, have now resorted to barging. Barging was not known to us as a people, because when you resort to barging, you can only take a little quantity and then take to the export terminal. So everybody is now resorting to barging. It means that you take a small portion, transport to the export terminal, because when you use the pipelines, they are likely to steal what you have produced.
Another aspect to this is that I was shocked when I was told that Dangote was bringing crude oil from America.
Yes.
So what on earth do you think is responsible for this?
No, the reason is the forward sales that the last administration got into. So by the forward sales, it means that whatever NNPC is producing now,
this 1.7 million we're talking about now,
producing, yes, no, because okay, let me use an illustration, because it's not everything in the oil sector that they let us know. Okay. If, for example, we sold 900 million barrels per day in advance, and we've collected the money, whatever the Tinubu administration produces in excess of 900 million barrels a day, that is all that we can earn, because we've already sold in advance about 900,000 barrels. You sold 900,000 barrels up front. Now, whatever you cannot earn money. It's one of the big problems that we are facing, because what you can earn, you will earn if you are able to produce above the projected production per day, which they sold in advance. So hopefully,
or you finish your obligation in July. Okay.
Yes. Hopefully in July we'll be able to earn a lot more foreign exchange because we will have completely
our obligation.
Yeah, we will have fully met our obligation to those clients.
So we are paying our debts up front with oil.
Because they've sold already in advance and collected the money. A lot of these things people don't know. We cannot defend our currency effectively. We cannot
with that kind of practice.
Yes, we can't earn enough dollars, because what you are selling now, a very good proportion of it
is to fulfill.
You have already paid for in advance. So Dangote, if NNPC is producing now, is producing mainly to fulfill those clients.
Our obligation.
Yes,
that we had.
Because the forward sales that we did. That's why they couldn't supply it until they are through with these forward sales, and we start on a clean slate.
Start earning directly.
We will not be able to earn enough foreign exchange. 2, we will not be able to supply Dangote, because your obligation now is to those clients, international clients, that you collected money from in advance and sold product to them in advance. So every day they are waiting. Okay, our crude oil, they will be waiting. Dangote won't get that from now on. We won't get for now until sometime in June.
I shouldn't be happy with this 1.7 million. That's okay. It's not something that is coming to us directly.
And only just part of it we are earning money from only just part of it, because at the time the forward sales agreement was reached, we were not doing well at all. There was no, remember that even Angola and Libya, a war-torn country, overtook us. So I'm saying that if we sold 900,000 barrels per day in advance, if we are doing 1.7 now, it helps, because at least you can earn extra in a season of forward sales. That is a simple analogy that I got. So if you really want to earn money, then you must do your best to produce in excess of the quantity that you have sold in advance. When you produce in excess of the quantity that you sold in advance, we'll be able to earn
to achieve that, there must be peace in that region. To achieve that, they must bring down oil theft.
You must defeat oil theft. We must defeat oil theft. We must defeat oil theft. Tantita is there in that region. The Navy is there. We must empower the Navy to be able to help us defeat this monster. And yes, people say, why should we contract non-state actors to help us protect our pipelines? But the truth is, if you look back to how much we were producing before we signed that deal, you cannot argue that they are doing well. Yes, you will readily agree.
The terrain better.
They do, and we are aware that they've seized ships,
yes,
carrying oil.
We apprehend people every day.
Yes, we are. Even terminals, illegally created terminals, connected to our pipelines. They have identified some and even made arrests. So you cannot say they've not done anything. I would want a situation in which the Navy, what's it called, civil defense, are the ones actively involved in doing this for us, instead of hiring non-state actors. But the truth is what it is. If I discover that you can help me to make a little more money,
if they are not protecting it, they will be breaching it.
Of course, there will be more.
They connive with people to breach it.
Than we are.
So it's better just give them that job.
That's what they've been doing for years now.
5,800
points.
So
I was discussing with someone. I said, we want to produce, want to start refining from Kaduna. How do we get crudes to that place? Are we going to be trucking crudes?
Not going through the pipeline.
They've not told us what they want, how they want to do it. Because if they try to send crudes through the pipelines, they will be sorry. How many of those pipelines are even? Because for a long time that refinery didn't do anything. So how many of those pipelines? When was the last time they actively
pumped crude through?
Yes, through the pipelines.
Sometimes they pump water ahead to see.
No, that one they played the trick. They had no plan to. They wanted to see whether they could take that risk. They then said, okay, they announced. But those boys have insiders within NNPC. So they announced that they will be sending PMS through pipelines all the way to those depots and all that. So they first flushed water into the pipelines. They recorded so many breaches,
leakages,
because those boys were waiting. You want to pass petrol, you meet us here. The boys were ready.
People are into bunkering. Traditional rulers, community.
Yeah, community leaders. Even this one.
That is the way of their way of life.
Even this one, armed forces are involved. Big people are involved. It's just like the way they steal gold.
Because to get a big vessel, to mobilize a big vessel.
It's a big business. It's a big business, and we are bleeding our country in a mindless manner. Our country, if our country produces 2,500 barrels of 2.5 million barrels of crude oil a day, this dollar illiquidity that we are facing will not be there, because you earn enough. So the scarcity of dollars will become a thing of the past. Let's try it. do 2.5 million barrels a day and see whether we will not earn enough dollars to solve this problem of dollar.
Do we have the capacity?
No. Okay. NNPC does not have the capacity. They know it. They know I'm not lying. They know. If they give them a Bible to say, can you do this on your own? Or they give Mele carry a Quran. Wallahi, Mele Kwari will not be able to say that, except if he's prepared to die. He won't take a Quran and say we can do 2.5 million barrels a day. No. But if we bring in foreign companies and everybody jumps in, there are many pipelines that the NNPC simply locked because they are not prepared to go to that side to work for now. And some of them are old oil wells that we can get a lot from. But don't forget, some investments, some investors are even divesting. They are leaving Nigeria. We have to solve that problem.
That's worrisome.
Yes. Who wants to come and work in a situation where you do all the work and people will steal your output? So we need to solve that problem. That problem of pipeline vandalism, If we solve that problem, I'm sure a lot of the international oil companies would like to come and do business.
We'd like to get your reaction. You can call us. Now, a festering sore, they say, is a problem that won't go away until you treat it, such as the House of Representatives. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas has made a clear call to the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, to pacify aggrieved members of the party. The speaker highlighted the need to institute reconciliation committees in order to reunite members of the party. We'll go for this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this breather. Stay with us.
In a move to end fuel scarcity and create employment opportunities, Sabas Oil and Gas has completed another mega station along the busy road of Mbura, Abuja. The state-of-the-art facility has impressive holding capacity of 1.6 million liters and is equipped with 80 pump nozzles. Sabas Oil and Gas logistics capacity in both marine and trucking has a significant impact on fuel distribution and availability in the region, while the larger storage capacity and the increased number of dispensing points will eradicate the long queues through constant supply of products. The increased capacity will also enable the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) to streamline the distribution of refined product, ensuring a more efficient and reliable supply chain. This development is in line with Sabas Oil and Gas commitment to supporting the nation's energy, security and economic growth. The new mega station is expected to serve as a model for sustainable and efficient fuel distribution, setting a benchmark for the industry.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every weekday on Business Nigeria, we uncover the secrets of the financial world,
breaking down intricate economic and financial matters.
We analyze the stock market, shares, bonds, and the thrilling world of cryptocurrencies.
We unveil and analyze complex policies of the CBN and other government parastatals as they affect your everyday life, keeping you a step ahead every time.
Okay, this is good. Facts matter. Our team dives deep to separate facts from popular opinion.
We simplify complex government policies as it impacts your everyday life, helping you navigate the ever-changing financial landscape.
Watch Business Nigeria every weekday at 2 p.m. only on TVC News. First with breaking news.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
major news story is with many perspective and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
Your TV station of the year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe is achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Journalist Hangout, and we're reaching you live from the Federal Capital Territory here in Abuja. I still have Babajide Kolade Otutoju with me, and Femi Akonde will be joining us. Femi Akonde, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It feels good to be here.
All right. Jide, Abdullahi Kanduje, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, is saying that, look, you need to put your house in order.
It's not Abdullahi Kanduje. Tajuddin Abbas.
Oh, Tajuddin Abbas. Sorry. Sorry.
Yes, there's a pressing need to do that. APC is very much divided now. There are so many aggrieved persons. Yes, after every election, we see bitter people. People feel shortchanged.
Yep.
Showing their anger, but it's been worsened by the fact that in the aftermath of the election and the enthronement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, many people who work for the party are watching those who did not work for the party, those who in fact even worked against the party. They are seeing
an opposition party.
Yes, they are seeing them being rewarded with appointments, and you are saying people won't be aggrieved. They will be aggrieved. Look at what happened during the weekend. Boards of tertiary institutions were constituted. ASU was threatening to go on strike if the governing councils of universities were not constituted. Because we had a situation in which, because there were no governing councils, some of the management of those schools were taking unilateral decisions. For example, you saw what happened in Abuja here, where the leadership of the University of Abuja advertised the position of the Vice Chancellor. You know, and ideally, that's not how to go about it.
Shouldn't be.
ASU is supposed to, the academic staff are supposed to come together and elect
within them.
Yes, that was how Unilag, that woman.
That's the standard practice.
That was how that woman emerged. She was the result of
three
voting.
people will contest with 3 professors in the Senate.
Yes, but you now advertised. So they got angry, and the rest is history. But what we have is a situation in which Adamawa State, where Mr. President lost in the election, where APC lost all the elections, produced 32 members into the governing councils of universities, colleges of education, and polytechnics. You now have a state like Niger having between 6 to 7, and Niger in the north central, Niger did extremely well for the president.
Yes, Niger Kogi.
Mr. President won 5 out of the 6 states of north central, with Niger playing a key part. You will get 6 to 7 members, and a state where the president didn't manage to win election will be producing 32. Sometimes I ask, who are the people helping Mr. President to appoint people to position? Because it's not possible for the president to know everybody.
Yes,
he has to delegate these things.
Yes.
But a lot of the people helping Mr. President in this regard, they are extremely selfish and
They are
shameless.
not taking these factors into consideration
at all. Whereas these factors, when an election, when we get to another electoral cycle, these factors will come to play. People will ask,
people that
how did you treat me
in their presidential committee?
Yes,
a very big one, and large.
Some spent their money.
Yes,
some sold their houses. They didn't take money from Mr. President. Because the truth is, as president, you can't share money to every party member that deserves to be rewarded. It is things like this. When you give me an appointment such as this, I can also help some of the people under me, some of my own constituents. You get the point that I'm making? That's the nature of politics. But if they cannot get anything, and PDP members are getting things, those who worked against the party, who mocked them, those who intimidated them, they are getting things. Look at Zamfara, for example. It was only Zamfara and Jigawa that Mr. President won out of the 7 states in the northwest. What did they get? Using this example, this governing boards, how many people were nominated from them? My feeling is that when they come up with this list, Mr. President should, by now, he should have a group.
People assisting him.
Yes, you say, okay, let's look at this list. Because if you leave a minister and the people in the ministry that is superintendent, they will put their people. That's what we have seen with Adamawa. This is shameful. One state, 32 persons. And the people were nominated in the other groups. Because there are groups, there are blocks that supported the president that also nominated people that they were allotted to nominate into these positions. They
sidelined
the nominees that they brought, they pushed those ones aside and put their. We are an extremely selfish people in this country.
Femi, we monitored the campaigns, we saw the players, we saw everything. At the end of the day, we discovered that it's not all those people that were active during the campaign and everything that are being rewarded. Some situation, you see some states, some people that contested under the platform of the People's Democratic Party taking positions.
I think the APC would need to fix its reward system, and it's also for Mr. President and National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress, including the party chairman, to pay attention to all of these things, because we have members of the All Progressives Congress, like you rightly mentioned, who are out there in the cold. A lot of them worked really hard, and you know that when the 2020, when campaigns for the 2027 election starts again, these are the same people you will fall back on to go and campaign for you. These are the people who can make good political decisions. the All Progressives Congress, and indeed for President, the All Progressives Congress, and indeed for President Bola Tinubu, because most of these people who have been rewarded are those who are not ready to even who are not ready to sacrifice or to go all out for their party. We saw in 2027 election how lackadaisical a lot of them were refusing to campaign because they did not even believe in the project in the first place. Yes. A lot of them believed in another candidate, but here we have it. They are the ones being rewarded, being compensated for even going contrary to the president's campaign goals, aspirations, and all of that. So it's really a big problem. If you talk to people in the APC, you hear them complain really bitterly, and it appears as if they really don't have that platform to also ventilate and to reach out to Mr. President to hear really what their grievances are.
Ade is calling us from London. Thank you for joining us, Ade.
Yes, AY.
Yes, go ahead, please.
To everyone there, Prince, Omaba Kiberu, thank you for telling the truth.
Thank you, sir.
Those who work for the president, look at that man from Ekiti, who started 2 years before the president is here, going about, I forgot his name.
Prince Diade, I remember, Swagger.
The man went all over Nigeria. What if he died on the street? Nobody, they didn't give him any appointment. Faleke is there, no appointment. And because New Ribadu is from Adamawa, is at 132 there. President is not the fault of the president. He doesn't know anything about this thing. Those who are doing it is the chief of staff and others.
Oh, no. Abi, we will not allow you to use our platform to malign anybody. You cannot substantiate that. Ade, take that back. Ade, sorry. I won't give you this platform to do that. Abba.
No, it's not. The thing is, people are angry. People are angry, no doubt. You cannot deny. No one can say no Ribadu didn't work for Asiwaju. Yes. No one can also say he worked harder than every other person. I don't think that this is purely this what happened with Adama having 32 indigenous. I don't think the Minister of Education is from Adama.
Yeah, it's not his own making. It's not the making of one
minister,
person.
and it is his ministry that was mandated to prepare this list.
Okay.
Yes. So maybe he does not even know that the minister has greater stake in this than no Ribadu. So this is not purely. I not agree that it's no Ribadu. The minister. Minister of Education is from Adama, and they were told to produce this list, but they were supposed to work with other people. I know, and I have information that other groups, other subgroups, contributed names, but at the end of the day, they removed the bulk of the names, more than 3/4 of the names submitted by one of the groups, and just took a fraction. So this is, this is not the only case. We've seen
it's
before
a general
now,
thing. Yes.
We've seen before now people complaining. Look at those women. They even went to APC secretariat. Women, they went to complain. So there's a need for a ruling party confronted by this sort of this kind of problem to look at how it can work hard.
There's still time
to ensure that there are still other boards.
Yes.
What should not happen is for this trend to continue. If this trend continues, it is the president that will be blamed, not the people helping him to put names together. So the president must also, as I suggested, when they submit the list, don't simply approve the list. Get others to use a fine-tooth comb to look at the thing, so that this lopsidedness in favor of a state where the APC was well defeated will not happen.
Roundly defeated.
Well defeated, not victory. Governor.
He was on ground.
Atiku won the presidential
election.
So why should they be rewarded?
All the three senatorial districts.
What is the
attraction?
They don't even on your states.
Yes.
Some are complaining.
Did well on those states. They did well.
In terms of percentage, in the southwest, Ondo recorded the highest percentage victory for APC in this last election.
Why are there people in the federal cabinet? Well, Femi, okay, Isaiah is calling us from Plateau State. Oh, we lost Isaiah. Now, when you look at it, this also happened during the time of former President Muhammadu Buhari, and a lot of people waited for 8 years. They weren't compensated. It's true. We had a situation whereby even some members of the opposition party remained in those boards, and those vacancies were never filled.
It was even worse under former President Muhammadu Buhari, because, like you said, a lot of people were not changed. Some people were even forgotten. They even forgot about some appointment. People whose appointments had expired, their tenure had ended, and a new head of agency or parastatal was to be appointed. They were just left to continue occupying that office. And
even the president's wife then complained.
Yes, now
why did we work hard to win election only for just a few individuals, about 2 or 3 individuals?
Thankfully, a lot of people had hopes because President Bola Tinubu is I would say a politician who he understands the game. So the expectations were high, but not all of that has been met.
You can't feel everybody. You need to trust people.
So I think the problem is the people he is trusting to get the job done.
Joshua is calling us from Jos. Thank you for joining us, Josh.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Ayo, Mr. Dele, well done.
All right, go ahead, please.
Well done, you are doing a very good job. I say, okay, I have another perception towards that. Could it be that they are using that to persuade other states who didn't vote APC?
Okay, Joshua is asking, is that a strategy to turn woo people from the opposition?
No.
Ahead of next election.
A strategy that will weaken your own base while you are trying to get new friends. It's not a sensible strategy. People are complaining. Oyo, in the southwest, Oyo contributed more votes than to Mr. President than most of the southwest states. More votes, he got more votes there. Mr. President won there. He even lost in his home state of Lagos. So you cannot, in an attempt to please or woo new friends, now unwittingly hurt your staunch loyalists. That kind of thing, the blowback will be bad. The blowback for the party. So Ganduje has a lot of work to do, and individuals are also quarreling among themselves. In Delta State, they are quarreling among themselves. In Zafara. Look at what is going on between Sani Jeji and Matawali. They are suspending one another, using their supporters to suspend one another. If you can suspend me in my word, I will use other people to suspend you in your word. That's what they are doing to one another. An election has not come.
Funny, this might have a kind of ripple effect even in states like Edo and Ondo states, where we're expecting to, to have governorship election. That on the party, it might tell on the party.
Yes, indeed, it will tell on the party, but I think one thing the party will also not play with is that in spite of all that is going on, all the bickering, when it comes to elections, they know how to quickly put their house in order and just ensure that they go to the poll as one united and indivisible whole, just for the sake of the election. After that, they continue the bickering. We can see even in Ondo, Edo, the primary elections, after the primary election, there are still issues, but they've been able to as in a way paper over the cracks just for the sake of the election, because they understand that victory is important. But for how long will they continue to manage and paper over these cracks? One day it will implode.
Remember calling me to say no, that they shouldn't have mentioned no, that no is not the one that
you corrected this. You corrected it.
So I'm getting messages.
It was the caller. Yes. I reprimanded the caller. And when you want to say that, okay, ultimately the PDP, they deluded themselves that time that 60 years cut short to 60 years. So APC, they might be saying that look, we are going to be there forever. Unfortunately, if they are insensitive to the plight of their members,
I've said it many times before that if not for the disunity, the quarrel between the PDP. within the PDP, APC would not have won in 2015. PDP lost 5 governors over the fear that the incumbent leadership of the party didn't want to allow for a level playing field. They wanted Jonathan to win the primaries by all means. And for the first time in Africa, the ruling party, they worked out on the sitting president. So that's how it happened. You will see what happened in Benue. Tom was in the APC. He defected at the last minute and won for APC. He was in the PDP. In Kebbi, the current minister of budget and planning, Atiku Bagudu, also in anger that they didn't want him to win primaries, moved to the APC at the last minute. He also won in the state. So there were many states like that where the division in the PDP enabled the APC to win in 2015. So if this continues, it's a very predictable outcome. The leader of the party, the president, and Dr. Umar Ganduje, the national chairman of the party, they have a lot of work to do. If you sound out the APC members, a good number of them are very angry.
They are very angry. They're still at home.
APC members are experts at working for the opposition.
Working against the party.
Yes, even they will do it and be proud about it. Somebody like, remember what your friend Senator Marafa, he took his own party to court. The party lost, his party lost, and he came on a TV station to say, yes, I decided to do it. I even told the president before doing it. I've never seen anything like that.
All right, and finally, as workers eagerly await announcement of the new minimum wage, organized labor appears unyielding in its demand for 615,000 naira after rejecting the proposal of 48,000 naira from government and 54,000 naira from organized private sector. Ahead of the meeting with the tripartite committee, labor leaders told governments to perish the idea of offering 100,000 naira as the new minimum wage. Organized labor also asked government to be serious with their negotiations, as it is expected to raise the bars of their proposal during negotiation. Femi, both from this side 615,000 naira, and from that side 48,000 naira.
I think the most bad thing is for them to find a middle ground. You know, the federal government will always tell us that the economy as we have it is not that buoyant. They will tell us that they inherited a very bad economy, and then they are putting a lot of things in place to ensure that the economy gets back on its feet, and would want labor to show understanding. But labor too will tell you that, well, what their demands are a reflection of reality. The realities on ground, what the people are talking about, the inflation and all of that. Yes, the inflation, you know, the prices of electricity, band A has gone up for those who are on band A, and those who are bandless cannot even, those who do not even have bands cannot even get electricity to power their small businesses and all of that. So it's really a tight rope to walk for both the federal government and indeed organized labor. So it's going to be interesting to see how, if the federal government will budge and maybe move up a bit, and labor, you know, of course they raised the bar to 615. We know that it's just for them to see somewhere that the federal government will be able to feel comfortable with providing that amount as minimum wage, maybe 200,000.
Jude, I'm not comfortable with the two proposals on ground. 615,000 and 48,000 naira sounded ridiculous to me.
Yes, for me too, I don't see how the government can pay that kind of money, and I'm sure in their hearts they know that 615,000 is minimum wage. Some states have still not paid 30. Remember what happened now when NLC appealed to the governor of Abia State to please pay 30.
Yes,
the old minimum wage.
Old minimum wage.
Some states are still paying that 18,000 is what some states are still paying.
Yes.
Now, the consequential awards, every minimum wage ensures that even the people on level 16, level 17, that the minimum wage is not about. The minimum wage is usually about level 1 to 7 max. They all get some money on top of their salary. Everybody will get.
Consequential adjustments.
Yes. Everybody will get, because if they don't give people, those juniors will end up earning the same salary as their seniors.
Yes.
So you move
So
everybody, but it's by percentage. For example, the highest earning people in the civil service, they will get the lowest percentage in the consequential adjustment. They can say, okay, we give you 4% of your salary, or, you know, because you are level 17.
Yes.
As you go down, the percentage goes up.
Yes.
You understand? So it's not, we can't be looking at 615 alone. The consequence of paying 615 will be so huge.
That means that telling level 01, 615 up.
Yes. And you must adjust everybody's salary.
Yes.
So that they don't meet them.
No.
So 615 is unreasonable. Nobody will pay. They can call me names because I'm saying this.
Who will pay?
But nobody will pay. Now, the chairman of the negotiating committee has already said, Labour, be prepared to shift grant.
Okay.
Because the federal government too, that is representing even subnationals, is prepared to shift grant. Look at what we had the last time they met. The federal government said it will pay 58,000. Organized private sector said it will pay 54. How do you get a man? And I doubt if the NLC president can pay his lowest earning personal staff as much as 618,000. He cannot pay it. That means your security man in your house, that's what you earn.
680.
Your gardener, that's what you earn.
Minimum wage.
Minimum wage. Because it's supposed to be backed by law. Can we come up with a law that says everybody, the lowest earning person in the civil service must earn 615,000? TUC actually came up with a moderated salary of 400, I think 400,000. By the time they met with Ajero and his group, they said, okay, we are harmonized. We too, we are going for 615. Yes. He can't work now. He can't work.
Tell me, 100,000 naira, how realistic is this?
Well, that's for the...
Already Labour, they've rejected 100,000 naira.
Yeah, they've rejected 100,000 naira. But you know, that is what is presented by the federal government. Maybe the federal government too might shift grant if it looks inward, looks at its pulse, looks at the
Do you see some states paying 100,000 naira, having that ability, because it's not about federal government alone now. Well, there are some very poor states.
Understandably, there are some very poor states, but also resources allocations going to states have also increased recently. Not all of them would want to openly admit that they are getting more monies now.
Removal of subsidy.
Yeah, it's just for everyone to come clean and say, see, this is what I can pay. Open your books. This is what comes in. This is how much we get as revenue and all of that. And based on all of these calculations, this is what we can afford as a minimum wage. If we have that understanding, and indeed if the labor unions in their state also are on the same page with them, then there will be no need for the back and forth.
Looking at what a bag of rice is saying now, when you go to markets, do you know that it's very difficult for anybody to go to the market with 20,000 naira, and if you're a family person and you bring something appreciable with 20,000 naira right now?
I believe our minimum wage should be able to buy 2 bags of rice at least. If you can't buy,
what are we doing now?
If you can't buy
30,000.
The minimum wage, 30,000 minimum wage cannot buy a bag of rice. And I'm saying that
a bag of rice is like 70,000 now.
No. Well, it depends on where you are buying from, the brand.
Okay.
There are some Nigerian-made rice, especially brands like Bull. They are far costlier than others. When you even go into a department store or a mall, you see the different brands, the same kg, but they cost more than one another. So it's difficult to benchmark to say this is the average price. It's difficult. But I'm saying that you should be able to buy, the minimum wage should be able to buy 2 bags of rice. So let's even say rice is around 60k. The minimum wage should be able to buy 2 bags. That's like 120,000 naira. That is my view. 2 bags of rice. Let's say a bag of rice on the average is 60k. So at least 120,000.
Okay, let's take our last caller. Adekule is calling us from Abuja. Thank you, Kule.
Yeah.
Thank you for waiting.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ambassador. Good afternoon. Thanks for all you do. Let me quickly say something about this appointment of a change. You know, when Mr. Ambassador was saying the that time, was talking about PNB. People can actually forgive PNB because we all agree that it's not a politician. But may I tell you one thing, that will be punished if we didn't address it. Because everybody believes that Bat is a politician and he knows the game. So if he continues with this, people will intentionally punish him for that because they believe that he did it to them intentionally. And to come to think of it, President Bat appointed his people as chief of staff. The private secretary also, I think Mungo Kola, is also his own person. So let's assume that President doesn't know what is going on. Are we saying that these people also cannot sit down and do what is going to be beneficial to President Bat, that is not going to tarnish his image as a politician? I don't want to believe that in this.
Thank you, Adekule. Thank you for your contribution. So, Femi, looking at this, who is going to move? Who will shift ground?
I think both of them will shift ground. I may be wrong, but I believe both of them should be flexible and ready to shift ground. Labour would have to shift more to come to reality with what is obtainable, what the federal government can afford based on what they have in their coffers.
Julia?
As I said,
2 times the minimum wage.
Yes, the minimum wage should be able to buy 2 bags of rice.
2 bags of rice, 120, 130.
On the average now, maybe 60, 65 a bag of rice.
Okay,
so I'm not talking about the Bull brand that is much more expensive and all that. So
above 100,000.
Above 100,000, maybe 120, 150.
Okay.
Or maximum 150.
All right. I want to thank you, Femi Akonde. Thank you for your contribution. And the maestro himself, Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Thank you for always being there.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Join us from 1:30 to 3:30 every Sunday for Journalist Hangout on Sunday on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Bye. God bless.
She empowered 4,000 women and girls, including former sex workers, school dropouts, single mothers, and trafficked women in automobile mechanical and technical skills. Through the Lady Mechanic Initiative, Sandra Agwebo alleviated poverty and provided income with hands-on training in auto mechanics, electrical work, professional driving, house plumbing, generator and speedboat repairs to disadvantaged women and girls. The founder of the Lady Mechanic Initiative and Nigeria's first female mechanic, Sandra Agwebo, is an iconic woman of our time. An Iconic Woman of Our Time is an initiative of St. Ives Communications, Women Radio, Voice of Women, and supported by MacArthur Foundation.
Last year was a shutdown.
But this time, it's going to be a night to remember.